What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? This is your boy Reg in the building. Got my own people at Try and Ash with me.
Oh,
That's good.
And this is going to be a very special review today because these are albums I never thought I would review on this channel. And this is part of my class of series where I would like to review two albums that was released in the same year. And it's going to be the Jacksons with their Victory album and Jermaine Jackson with the Dynamite. Originally, it's originally called just Jermaine, but internationally it was called Dynamite. So this version is the Jermaine Jackson. Says Jermaine Jackson. If y'all can see it. Hold on, I'm gonna fix my light right quick. I'm gonna cut off this blue light. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Mike is always watching.
You said what?
I said Mike is always working in the background.
Facts. Alright. Let me put my flashlight on my little phone.
He said to me, you better give his other album a good review.
You said what?
Said the album was talking to me last night. He said you better give his brother album tonight a good review.
We'll see. We would see. Alright, so today we're going to start by talking about the Victory album and shit since it came first, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I've asked, how did y'all get into the Jacksons' music? Or, I know we asked Michael Jackson, but I don't know how did y'all get into the Jacksons. Just
As far as that was like before like just based on the stories I heard like from my mom and other family members, like they we went to see when they Michael as a little boy was a phenomenon type of artist, and my introduction to them was I want to say the 25 anniversary, seeing them perform and do their medley of hits, and then the brothers got up on stage and did his solo performances, and I think that's like the best, one of the best Michael Jackson performances I've ever seen. Him performing Billie Jean, that was like something I'll always remember. And like my very first like listening to a Jackson album was actually the Victory album, because I remember like they had like the big promotional press conference for the Victory tour, and Michael had just did the Pepsi commercial. He had his hair caught on fire. Everybody remembers that. My grandmother at the time, she actually had wrote a letter to him, like a get well letter, and sent it to him when he was in the hospital, because like his people was like they had gave out the address where he was staying at the hospital, and they had like all the fans like sending him get well cards and flowers and stuff. So my grandmother actually sent him a get well letter and all that when that happened. And that was my introduction to them. Like before that, I'm not really familiar with the Jacksons discography. I know the hits, but like as far as the albums, I'm not familiar with those. But I definitely will go back and check out a lot of those albums. I know I have like 2 or 3 other ones on vinyl that I'm gonna listen to at some point. But that was my introduction to the Jacksons. As far as Michael, I grew up in the Thriller episode. That was like my introduction to him, and the very first video I could remember seeing as a little kid was Beat It. And on there used to be a video show called New York Hot Tracks. It used to come on Friday nights at like 11:30, right after the news went off, and they would show like the hottest new videos at that time in the 80s. So that was like my very first like remembering what a video was. It was looking at Beat It when Beat It first premiered on New York Hot Tracks, and then seeing Billie Jean, and after Beat It came out, like all the other videos told a story, because before then we didn't have like a video that told a story. And that was like a great time to, like, for a music fan. That was a great period to grow up in, and to be introduced to a legend like Michael, So that was like to the Jackson.
Mm.
I really okay. I think my first introduction into the Jacksons was through the Jacksons and American Dream movie that came on TV a lot,
Okay.
and I've heard a lot of their hits every now and again, either on TV or excuse me, hearing their hits like somewhere like at random places, like if I'm out and about somewhere. But other than that, I haven't really listened to their actual albums like that. I just know like a couple of hits that they've had back then, of course.
Okay, bad. Um, to me, I want to say like the first Jackson's album I mean, Memory of the Jacksons, I want to say was hearing I Want You Back and ABC and shit like that. Just seeing like a young Michael Jackson just doing his thing and shit. Um, and I don't know, the music just always just grasped my attention and shit like that. Cause you know everyone around that time was looking at them like as an influence from Usher to Justin Timberlake and shit. So I just thought they were very interesting and whatnot. But me personally, I mostly prefer growing up now. I like the Jackson people when the lineup with Randy a lot more now than before. But we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. So we all know the story about how the Jackson Five came together because we know we've heard that story before. But with this story, I want to discuss their history from 1975 up into '84. So around the time of the mid to late '70s, they were kind of growing dissatisfied with Motown and whatnot. They felt that Motown, of course, was cheating them out of creative control and royalties, and they had desires. Joe Jackson began having the group move into Epic Records and stuff like that, where they would get higher royalties and more creative control. Everybody was on board except for one person, Jermaine. Reason being, Jermaine Jackson at that time was married to Hazel Gordy. Hazel Gordy, of course, being Barry Gordy's daughter. Michael, he was kind of indifferent as well too because of the fact that Motown was his family, but he still desired creative control as well too. So he basically had no ill will towards Barry Gordy or Susan in the past. I guess it was like the management. So everyone but Jermaine left, and Randy came in the picture. Randy being their youngest brother and shit like that. The first album that they came out with, actually before the album, they actually had a weekly variety series where a lot of the members of the family debuted, including a young Janet Jackson too debuted on that variety series. So, and she was actually, if I'm not mistaken, the youngest black actress in the variety series at that time. So that's big looks to that. Also in 1976, they had us deal with Philadelphia International Records, and they dropped their self-titled album, The Jacksons, because the reason why they called themselves the Jacksons instead of the Jackson 5 because Motown still had the rights to the Jackson 5 name. Go figure. And so they called themselves the Jacksons, and Gamble and Huff, who I've mentioned countless times on this channel, produced many hits, for Teddy Pendergrass, Lou Rawls, and so on and so on, produced that fucking album. And that self-titled Jackson album, I love that album. It definitely has that Philadelphia soul vibe with it. Like a lot of classic songs like Enjoy Yourself, Show Me the Way to Go, Good Times. That was on that fucking album and shit. So yeah, and they also, you know, Michael also wrote some songs there too. Michael and Tito wrote some songs too, but it was mostly Gamble and Huff that was writing the songs. And so fast forward to 1977, they dropped the album Going Places. I never actually heard Going Places. I've heard a few songs and stuff like that. So, but from what I've heard, it was an okay album at the time. Then, 1978 happened. They got full creative control. They were now fully under Epic Records, and they dropped Destiny. That album, Destiny, if I'm not mistaken, that was actually their best-selling album to date. Dope album. That was released around the time of the disco era. Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. Blame It on the Boogie. Fucking That's What You Get. Push Me Away. I mean, that was the first album they had creative control. They were on some other shit with that album and stuff. Like we have to talk about Destiny one day. Most definitely gonna talk about Destiny. And so 2 years later, they dropped, in my opinion, my favorite album from them, Triumph. Which, actually, 1979, y'all know Michael Jackson did Off the Wall. And so 1980 happened, Triumph was released and shit. And so Triumph, again, that was during the time of like the post-disco sound. And that was another great album. I personally like that album a lot more than Destiny and shit like that, because I know a lot of people do like it, but when they know the album, they know songs like Heartbreak Hotel, aka This Place Hotel, Everybody, Give It Up, Can You Feel It, which the video at that time broke a lot of ground too and shit like that, because it was like a very highly expensive video. Y'all know how I feel about the video, so I'm not even going to go there right now. But, now fast forward to 1981, they dropped a live album called The Jacksons Live, which a live album I do have in my collection that was from like the Triumph tour. Dope live album. I know people will request me to talk about that one. I'm going to talk about that one day, so stay tuned. And so around this time too, in 1982, MJ had dropped Thriller. Thriller broke all the game and shit like that. And around that time, Jermaine Jackson, he was struggling with Motown, but I'm going to talk about his part of the story right after. And so Motown 25 happened in 83. And it was his first time when all the Jacksons had reunited and stuff like that, including like Jermaine, in my Michael voice, including Jermaine. And so with the success of Motown 25, and Joe Jackson wanted to get the group to do some commercials and do a comeback tour and an album. Now, okay. Actually, if I made a mistake. This is their best-selling album. Destiny was their best-selling album at that time, so I made a slight mistake on that. So, around the time of this album, and getting ready for the album and tour, they were going through a lot of tensions and controversy. This was pretty much a turbulent period for them. And so, with the album, each member had solo songs within the album and stuff. So, that's something that's rarely happened in Jackson 5 and any Jackson 5 album. So, you have like a solo Jackie song, then you have a solo Tito song, and so on and so on. And Michael, he only contributed like 2 songs, so he wasn't really fully invested in the project like that. And so the Victory Tour happened. Dun dun dun. Okay, let me stop. And so this is around the time when MJ was recovering from the burns he got from the Pepsi commercial. And the Victory Tour was just, at that time, it was one of the most highly turbulent tours in history and shit like that. And a lot of shit happened around that tour. For one, Jackie had gotten a leg injury, and he had to miss, I think, the first half of the tour and stuff. And Jackie was pretty much like the peacemaker between like the Jacksons and shit like that, And everybody was arguing with one another. Tito and Randy were gunning at it, from what I read. Michael was getting at it. Jermaine and Michael, of course, were butting heads a lot during the Victory Tour. Randy was butting heads with Jermaine. It was like chaotic around that time too. And guess who was the promoter for that tour?
Who's that? Don King.
Don King.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. He was at the press conference.
What?
Oh yeah, Don King. Yeah, he was at the press conference.
On YouTube. That's on YouTube. You never check it out.
Yeah, I saw that shit. And for all of my boxing heads, the name Don King, Hugh and Lightning, excuse me, the name Don King is pretty synonymous in boxing, because this is the motherfucker that screwed your favorite boxer pretty much, like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. If I'm not mistaken, George Foreman. Like this nigga once made a nigga sign a contract on toilet paper, or he said it was like a blank contract. He said there's nothing on it. He's like, oh, I'll put it on there later. Like the shit he did to Mike Tyson alone, man. Oh my fucking god. But that's another story for a different day. And Michael did not want like Don King's name attached to the tour, but they proposed this ticket controversy. Now, the ticket controversy was pretty much they raised the price for the tickets with his tour. And the black community did not like it. They didn't like it and shit like that. And most of the blame went after Michael and shit like that because there was this one fan that by the name of LaDonna Jones basically accused of Jackson of being selfish and out for money and whatnot. Like, and so Michael actually had to donate, if I'm not mistaken, $1 million to charity because he got, since he was like the biggest name, he got most of the blame for it, you know. And so he didn't even want to stay with the Jacksons in the hotels. I think at one point he even brought John Lennon's son, if I'm not mistaken, Julian, to the tour with him and stuff like that. And I think what really hurt him personally was the fact that James Brown didn't even want to come to the tour because of the whole ticket controversy. And you know James Brown was Michael's idol, so that hurt him personally. And he missed out on a lot of opportunities around that time too, whatnot. So, and amidst the plenty of financial difficulties, the tour still went on. And you guys know the last date of the tour, Michael was like, you know, this is the final Jackson's tour, because, you know, he was leaving and shit like that. That, of course, created a lot of controversy, of course. And, yeah, that's the whole story with the Victory album. Boy, oh boy. So, the tension even concluded into the album cover, too. Now, this is my favorite part of the album. Album cover. Because I always felt like the album cover was... he said, I always felt like the album cover was definitely dope and shit like that. And there was like a lot of tensions throughout this album cover that they didn't even pose for the album cover. Some nigga painted it and shit.
But it's dope. It's a dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is dope. It is dope. And what ended up happening is some editions of the album cover, there was actually a dove on Randy's shoulder. I don't have the edition for it. Try, you say you had the edition, right?
No, this is the one I had was the OG copy from the 80s. I never seen the one with the dove until like a couple weeks ago online. I never knew there was another version of it.
Oh shit, yeah. I just knew about that shit like a lot recently and shit too. So
the jacket that Jackie's wearing, it kind of looked like a dove on it. Jackie's in the middle.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying now. I definitely see what you're saying.
No other, like back in the 80s, I never seen no other edition until when I looked on Wikipedia a couple weeks ago when we were talking about doing this review. So I never knew there was another edition.
Oh wow, okay, bet. All right, and believe it or not, they actually had a guest appearance on this album. Drum roll, please. Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones appeared on State of Shock and shit.
Legend.
Oh yeah. Ironically, at that time, he was going through problems. The Rolling Stones were kind of going through problems too around that time. So, yeah. But he was not the original guest, because I'm gonna talk about that story later. You already know where I'm getting at. All right, so let me put the album up. Pretty dope picture of the Jacksons and shit.
I had that poster too. The poster with the original copy. The poster came with the album.
Oh wow. Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like a lot of rare Jacksons pictures and shit. Cause you rarely see these pictures of the Jacksons and shit. But all right, and the singles the albums was released with was State of Shock, Torture, Body, and I want to say what was the other single? Yeah, that was it. That was the only singles and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, the moment y'all been waiting for. 8 songs. Let's hit it. All right, track number 1 is Torture. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this was written by Jackie and shit like that, and another Motown veteran by the name of Kathy Wakefield. This song was about basically it's a torture about a relationship, how someone's torturing one in a relationship and shit. Originally, he was supposed to have sang this with Michael, but Jackie's role went to Jermaine and shit like that because I think the scheduling and shit, and so basically it was collaboration between Michael, Jermaine, and Randy pretty much. I I never really cared for this song. When I first heard it, I never cared for it because it was like a new wave sound, and I'm just like, why are they trying to sound like the Minneapolis sound? I'm not too sure, but re-listening to it now, it's not as bad as I thought it was. But I never liked the video. Video was weird. Like they had like a wax dummy of MJ. It was like Star Trek. I don't. It was just one of the weirdest videos, but that was the MTV era. So overall, it's a decent song. Torture, very decent song.
Man, I remember seeing this video when it came out when I was little. And I was like, "What the hell am I looking at? Like, why is there a wax figure of Michael?" And it was real weird and spacey, and I didn't like the video. The video makes no sense at all. It doesn't even go with the song.
Oh my god.
I actually like the song. I think I like the beat and the bass line, and I think it's real funky. And got the rock guitar and I like Michael's second verse. Michael's second verse is confusing because when you actually read his lyrics, like it sounds like he's talking about a prostitute or something. Like he's saying, she was up the stairs to nowhere, a room forever I'll remember. She stared as I thought I should have known her. Tell me what's your pain or pleasure. And I'm like, are you talking about a prostitute, Michael? Like, what are you talking about?
He's talking
Like,
about either Billie Jean or Dirty Diana.
like, where's the torture in this song? And it was just, I don't know. You could tell there was many issues going on with this album, but I still like it. It was cool. It was a different type of song. The video, like I said, like if people never saw the video, check the video out on YouTube. The video makes no sense at all. It's weird. It's real spaced out. I know it was the '80s, and the '80s was like a weird era for music and for fashion and movies, all type of shit. But it just don't. It doesn't go with the song to me. But I actually like the song. It's not great, but Michael is only like I think he's only like about 4 songs on this album, but he definitely saved this album because without him, I think it would have been probably the Jacksons' worst ever album, and I haven't even listened to their other stuff yet. But I can tell you already, like without Michael, this would have been like a waste of time. But
Yeah,
I definitely think it was a cool song.
you haven't heard 2300 Jackson Street, so I'll just save that right there.
You know what happened? I heard that because my mom actually bought that back in the day on cassette, but that wasn't a good album either.
Oh shit. The title track was the only reason why I even loved the album and shit. Like, just with all the Jacksons minus Latoya, it just made up for it. But oh my god.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Oh shit.
This song Torture. It was alright to me. I actually like the song better than the video because I remember watching the video on VH1 Classic, but they changed it to MTV Classic now. But still, that video was so weird. I was like, "What is this?"
Mm.
Yeah, I'm like, "This is the direction they went to." Like, come on. Yeah, that video did not make any sense at all. I had no idea that Jackie wrote this song though, to be real. But I agree that since Michael did do 4 songs off this album, y'all were right. Like he actually did save this album because if not, it would have been a complete disaster.
Oh yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's torture.
And I want to say that the chorus is cheesy too. When they're like, what? It's that's like come on. That's just it's just cheesy. Like even listening to it now in 2019, it still sounds cheesy like it did back in the day.
I agree. Shit. Now we're gonna get into Wait, which Wait, believe it or not, one of my favorite songs off this album. Yeah, and this was pretty much a Jackie song with Michael and Jermaine on the background, if I'm not mistaken. Jackie definitely did his thing with this song right here. Um, yeah, man. Like I said, like some of his best songs were mostly Jackie and Randy led, in my opinion. I like the line where he says, "We can't let love just fade away, baby. I can't wait for 100 years. Can't hold back my tears any longer. I can't wait for 100 years." I like how he said those lines and said so. Very dope track.
I didn't like the track. I think it sounded cheesy. You know, I like the chorus. But I can't wait for 100 years. I love that. But
Right.
I think the track was cheesy. That was Randy singing, right?
Yeah. Jackie singing.
Oh, Jackie. Oh wow, that was Jackie singing, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, it was. I don't know. I didn't care for it. I just thought that the instrumentation was cheesy. It sounded like some. It sounded like something left off of the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack.
Oh God.
You know. You know.
Oh.
Addie LaBelle, she had like that type of sound for the Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack as well, and it just reminded me of like of that movie and that soundtrack. And I didn't care for it, but I like the chorus though. And you know, Jackie tried, you know, but I think it needed some help though. I just think I didn't care for that song.
I feel you. I feel you. Respect is given.
Yeah, Wait was an alright song to me. I did not know it was Jackie singing it because I would really have to familiarize myself with the Jacksons, other albums and stuff like that when I get a chance to. But yeah, this was an alright song to me. It wasn't terrible. I mean, it just has that 80s sound, that typical 80s sound you would hear from certain artists from during that time, but that you would hear a lot. And I see what Charles was saying, that it does sound like something from Beverly Hills Cop. Now I can tell.
Mm. Dun, 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 dun. Shit. Alright, so after Wait, we're gonna get into One More Chance. Now, Randy wrote this one, and this was sung by both Randy and Jermaine. One More Chance. That was a pretty cool, nice ballad. Not one of the strongest songs, but you know, if it plays, I'm not gonna skip it and shit like that. So, yeah, Randy's pretty a dope singer. I'm not gonna front.
I like this song. I think this is an actually good song done by Randy and Jermaine. For whatever reason, like when I hear it all the time, it sounds like something New Edition would have did for like the Candy Girl album or the second album.
Yeah.
I like the lyrics when he says he's singing, "I just want to do half of what you do," and I know it seems so strange for me to say this. If there's 100 ways to say it, all in one, it means don't go away. And I think the percussions on it and the bass and the keys, everything was nice. It was a beautiful song by Randy. At least he got it right. With Jackie, I didn't like Jackie's song, but Randy and Jermaine, they had a nice song with this.
Mm.
Yeah, this was a song that was beautifully done by Randy and Jermaine right here. But yeah, it's not a bad ballad at all. I mean, it does give you, I guess, those like little sentimental feelings. Like, the person want whoever their significant other is to give them one more chance and not to give up on them and their relationship and all that stuff. I like it.
Facts. Yeah, man. This is definitely one of the strongest tracks off this album. So, moving on, we're gonna get into the Michael Jackson solo track, "Be Not Always." The pick, pretty much the only Michael solo track.
Yep.
When I first heard this song, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it at first. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it. I just felt like the out of all the songs he made was like a ballad next to "State of Shock," but listening to it, it's not a bad song. It kind of reminds me of like a more softer version of "She's Out of My Life," if that makes sense and shit. Vocally, Michael definitely does his thing on this one. Nice piano ballad. Yeah, I'll give it a pass. You know.
I definitely would say it's in the same vein as She's Out of My Life and The Lady in My Life or Ben. Those soft sung ballads that Michael was known for. I think it is underrated because it's on this album and the album wasn't a success. But I definitely feel like it was a good, nice ballad. Beautifully sung as always by I like the acoustic guitar and the harp and the viola on it. Very nicely done. I like the lyrics where you sang on "Mothers cry, babies die, helplessly in arms while rockets fly, and
Okay.
research lies in progress. But what of men of flesh and blood? We turn our backs on life. How can we claim we stand for peace when the races are in strife, destroying life? And I thought that was a great message in the song from Mike, and definitely an underrated song for me.
Dope, dope.
Yeah, Be Not Always. Even though Michael sung this song beautifully, it's not. I don't consider it as a favorite of mine because I don't know what it is about it. It's just like one of those songs that just really like brought me down. Like whenever I heard it, and I thought it was gonna be to the point where I thought I was gonna cry listening to this song, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like it it's something I would not put on repeat a lot. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's true. I feel you though, but yeah, niggas won the Michael song on this album. It's the closest they'll get a solo Michael track.
Did
Um,
his thing. I think he did his thing on.
oh yeah, he did. Trust me, he did. Right. Track number 5, "State of Shock," featuring Mick Jagger. Yeah, this is pretty much my favorite song off this album. But this is not the version of the song I pretty much like the most. Because originally this song was supposed to have been with Freddie Mercury of Queen. And there's actually an original version on YouTube. But I think they had like some falling out from what I've looked up because Michael Jackson's llama was messing with Freddie Mercury or some shit. Yes, his llama. He brought his llama.
What?
Yeah, yeah, he brought his
No.
llama to the studio from what I looked up. And
Wow.
yeah, man, and so I don't know. I think they scrapped this part, and he redid this song with Mick Jagger of Rolling Stones fame and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's crazy because Mick Jagger he actually performed this song with Tina Turner in Live Aid and shit. So that's very interesting. But back to "State of Shock." Yeah, this was a pretty like rocking song and shit like that. Mike is pretty much when I see it, I pretty much put it in the same vein of what's that one track? That one track, "Beat It" from Thriller. So just the guitar riffs and just the direction he was going to, like in the mid '80s and shit. Um, yeah, man. Mm. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, Michael would do that like Freddie Mercury's cocaine habit at that time too. So yeah, that's a lot to do with it. So yeah, man. Like I said, the Mick Jagger version is cool, but the Freddie Mercury version of State of Shock is y'all can't miss that one. That's a dope one as well too.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. And talk about the Pac calling the kettle black, man. Like he had a problem with Freddie Mercury's drug habit, and he ended up doing drugs himself. I'm sorry, Mike, but I had to say it.
Damn.
That's just crazy. But I heard like there's supposed to be like I don't know if they finished the track, but it's supposed to be snippets of the original version online.
Yeah, there's. Hmm.
Okay. I never heard that version. I heard about it because in Rhapsody Bible. So but I never heard the original version. But I remember hearing this the first time on the radio back in the day. This was like the first single, but there's no video for it or whatever. But I think there should have been a video for this because I this was like one of the brightest moments on the album, especially with Michael and hear Mike collaborate with a legend like Mick Jagger. And I love the guitar riff. Love that shit. The chorus and she put me in the state of shock. Love that. Dope song. Like I said, like I wish there was a video for it. You know, compared to Torture, that would have been like a much better first single. But I would have loved to hear like more collaborations with Michael and Mick Jagger. But I definitely enjoyed this song, and it's a shame we didn't get the version with Michael and Freddie Mercury. That would have been just as great, if not better. But
Facts.
definitely one of my favorites on the album.
Oh yeah. State of shock.
Yeah, when I first heard State of Shock, I didn't like it, but after hearing it more and more today, it's grown on me. I give it that, but I had no idea that Michael originally did this song with Freddie Mercury. Though, rest in peace to both of them. And yeah, it's not a bad song to rock out to. I'll give it that. But yeah, is the full length version of this song online?
I believe so.
The original.
I heard it. There's only snippets of the original one. I don't know if there's like the full one.
Oh.
Mm. Yeah, man. State of shock. Definitely a highlight of the album and shit like that.
Mhm.
So now we get into the Tito Jackson solo track. We can change the world. Um, Pretty much, the traditional '80s environmental kind of track and whatnot. The beat was pretty funky. I'm not gonna lie. Tito definitely did his thing with this track right here and shit like that. So, love the instrumentation on this in the song.
I didn't think it.
You didn't like
was
it?
right. Nope. Did
I,
not like
I,
it.
I
So,
would try on this one. I did not like it either. To be honest.
they struck out on this album to me.
Damn. I'm surprised the songs I actually like, y'all don't like. Damn.
You didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Yeah, it just I just did not care too much for this one here. I'm sorry.
We can change the world.
You should have changed the singer.
Yo.
I'm sorry, Tito.
Damn, Tito.
Oh man.
So I take it that both of y'all just say that y'all don't fuck with this song right here.
No.
Tito just stick to just playing the guitar. That's what he was good at. Don't get on the mic because he wasn't good.
Damn. Alright. So moving on. We have The Hurt. Oh God. This was a song Randy's Falsetto just stole the show for me because I skip over this track a lot, but Randy's falsetto was just It was something not expected, but I got used to it. And I know Michael wrote some parts on this song too, and this is pretty much one of the weakest songs off this album. I'm sorry.
Well, it had the right name for it, the hurt, because it was hurtful to hear it, and
Mm.
I did not like that. I like it. I'm sorry, Randy. Michael should have sang it instead, but then I like it. Tito and Randy, then I like those. No, this was painful to listen to.
Painful.
Yeah. I did not like this song either. Like, if they would have had Michael do this song, or I want to say either Jackie or Jermaine, I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, this did do nothing for me.
Oh my god, I just get hurt thinking about this song. And the last song, we finally gave Marlon his chance to shine with Body. You guys remember the Victory Tour where Marlon did that weird body dance and shit like that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. He was trying to have his little sexy moment, and I feel like they were trying to still give him. He's trying to still get that moment with this track. Again, it's a cheesy, very cheesy track, just talking about how to like a female for her body and shit. Imagine doing this song in the Me Too movement today, but yeah, it's a cheesy song, but it's not a bad song.
I actually like this song. Actually, this is one of my favorites on here. Um, the video is cheesy though. Oh man, that video, like, and in the video, it's only for them. Like, Jermaine is not in it, Michael's not in it, and um they go up to like an aerobic spot. And I don't know if Marlon owns the aerobic spot, but they're like, once they get out the car, you got like all this police securities around them. They go into the aerobic the fitness center, and then they start like Reg was saying, like Marlon starts doing these sexy dances or whatever. I guess he was trying to channel Mike, and uh it's the '80s, so they were wearing like bad leotards and shit, and headbands, and the video's just cheesy. But I definitely think Marlon got off on this track. It still sounds like something Michael would have did, but I definitely feel like Marlon did his thing on this track, and he's not even close to being talented as Jermaine or Michael, but I think he knocked it out the park on this song, and I actually love this song. Like, it was on my iPod. I think it's a dope song. I think people shit on it because it's not Michael, and I guess they felt like the other brothers didn't have no talent, but Marlon, I'm happy to say he definitely knocked it out on this album compared to Jackie and Tito. I definitely feel like it's a classic song. I like the chorus and the beat. Everything about it is dope.
Shit. Okay.
Body, it's a catchy little song here. I get credit to Marlon for doing it. And I never watched the video, so from just what Try was saying, the fact that the video was cheesy, I don't know what, I'll save my eyes from even viewing that.
It's just funny. You gotta watch, because he's wearing, like, I don't know, like, I don't know if Michael was like letting his brothers borrow his clothes, because like it happened with we gonna talk about that Jermaine shit, but the Marlon, like, the pants that Randy is wearing in the video, and Marlon, like, it's like they just raided Michael's closet. Like, oh, let's raid our little brother's closet to wear his stuff, because we ain't got no money for our own to buy our own shit. So I'm gonna wear Michael's white striped glittery pants, and Randy, you can wear the same. And it just looked like that, but like you can clearly tell he was trying to channel Michael, because it, like, the dance moves of Michael's, even the way that he sings, like with that hiccup style that he had,
Right.
it was like the beat was Mike. You could tell that was like a Michael Jackson track that he probably gave to the brothers, like, oh, like, take this, Marlon, and figure something out with it. I don't need it because I have many hits of my own coming.
Damn.
And it's all Michael, but I definitely think, like, I mean, I give Marlon an E for effort, because he tried, and he knocked it out the park to me compared to the other songs on the album. I definitely think that of all the brothers, Marlon did his thing, and I definitely love that song.
True. Give me one quick second. Someone's knocking on my door. Who is it?
This is Marlon.
Wait, which one, Marlon?
Oh shit. Sorry about that. When it comes to this album, when I first heard it, I did not really care for this album and shit. I just thought it was just a cash in for the tour. Like, you guys remember when the Temptations got back together, like in the mid to early '80s and shit, and they did that reunion album.
Yeah.
I pretty much compared that to this. Oh shit. Hold on, my camera's fucked up. Hold on 1 second. But y'all can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so I pretty much compare that to this because I don't know, the songs didn't really do it too much for me and shit like that. But when I listen to the album now, it's not as bad as I thought it was because, you know, I like the fact that they all contributed to songs and whatnot. You heard more of like Jackie and Randy, Tito and shit like that. But at the same time too is the same the fact that we might hear these people, but at the same time, it's a quality good. And I just felt like everybody expected like a Thriller follow up, that they were just so disappointed with that, and like the fans really wanted a follow up to Thriller, but well, they ended up getting this album. They was just a little disappointed with it, but I would personally give this album a chance. It's not their best album, but it's not their worst. And it was way better than 2300 Jackson Street. So I'm gonna give it the
That's not saying a lot.
Huh? Oh yeah,
That's not saying a lot.
True. I'll give this 3 mics and shit.
I think this album could have done better if Michael was more involved. I feel like if Michael had this much problems with his brothers, like why even do the album at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, was he doing it for a paycheck or was he doing it like for the brothers to get money? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he wasn't involved in it enough. But even like the contributions he did on like the 4 songs were good. I love Body, even though Marlon did that. I think Marlon did his thing on that song. I love State of Shock. That there should have been a video for that. One more chance was dope. Torture. I like Torture. I don't like the video. I think the video is cheesy. The videos for this album was cheesy. I love this album cover though. This album cover, I used to stare at this album cover a lot when I was little. This album cover is great. I don't know who illustrated it, but he's dope for doing this. Definitely one of my favorite album covers of all time. I would give this album a 2.5. Because I feel like letting the brothers like Jackie, and I think he fucked up with his man Tito, and I feel like Michael saved this album because it could have been worse, and that's not saying a lot. But I would give it 2.5 mics out of 5.
Yeah, this is my first time ever listening to any of the Jacksons albums. But Victory, it had some stuff that I like, others not so much. So it was like it wasn't a terrible album, it was just like somewhere in the middle. It was alright to me, but I feel like if Michael really like contributed like a lot more than to the 4 songs that he did do and whatnot, I think it would have been like the album would have been somewhat better, but I just didn't know they had so many issues going on while doing this album, as well as the tour and all that stuff. I had no idea about that, but I would have to give this album 3 out of 5.
I'll be generous.
Hey, I know I'm being generous. I was like, damn, I expected an album, and I expected a bad album, but it was like not bad, but
It was like somewhere in between. It was in between, so
right.
Out of all the reviews we ever did, the worst review we did was the Black Album. I think this album was right there with the Black Album. The only reason why like I gave it a 2.5 is because they all like because of the 4 songs that Michael was on. Because if Michael was on this album, it would have been straight trash like the Black album. But I think y'all being real generous with your rating though.
Hey, well, a lot of the bad stuff on Victory ended up on this shit. All right, let's get this shit over with. Jermaine Jackson, Dynamite. Alright, so while the Jacksons were flourishing with creative control, Jermaine basically fell into the Motown trap. So Joe and Jermaine pretty much had a falling out since he stayed with Motown, cause he still wanted to be. He was with Hazel, and Berry Gordy promised him creative control or whatnot. This led to some jealousy from Marvin Gaye, because Marvin Gaye was kind of jealous of Jermaine Jackson because he felt that Barry was trying to replace Jermaine as the quote-unquote Prince of Motown, because y'all should remember that Marvin was married to Berry Gordy's sister, Anna Gordy. Them fucking Gordys, man, I tell you. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Also, Motown's web of love triangles, I don't know. It was just... Jeez. Messy.
Business too. Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, so Jermaine came out with his first solo album, My Name Is Jermaine, which I do have in my collection. It's not that good. Only thing that saved it was the production. Production pretty much saved it, but Jermaine kind of had some diminishing chart successes. It was not until 1980 that he had his first #1 hit as like a solo artist in Motown. Let's Get Serious. Let's Get Serious. Dun, dun. The album that Stevie and Jermaine pretty much produced and shit. That was a big hit. That was like his biggest hit since then and shit. But at the same time too, he still fell into some commercial diminishment because the next couple of albums was filled with like cheesy ass covers. Like he had an album that was called Let Me Tickle Your Fancy.
What?
Let Me Tickle Your Fancy. Like he had an album that was called that. Doing shit with fucking Devo. The new wave group Devo, out of all people.
Oh god.
And so once he got that also that same year in '82, he appeared on the Facts of Life episode when Tootie.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, crazy episode when Tootie had a crush on Jermaine Jackson.
Yeah.
And she went crazy for Jermaine. Yeah, y'all heard me right. Tootie went crazy for Jermaine and shit. Yeah, that was the '80s for you. That was the '80s.
Yep.
So he left Motown, I think right around the time that 82, 83, and he had signed to Arista Records. And Arista gave him. You said what?
Arista,
excuse me. Yeah. Arista gave him like a lot more creative control. He did more production and songwriting. Clive Davis, man. You either love him or you hate him, but shit. Also, that was also the time when a very young Whitney Houston appeared on this album.
Yes.
Because these two were dating at that time too. Because her first appearance on Wax, if I'm not mistaken, was on the Teddy Pendergrass Love Language album that came out in '84 and shit like that. And that was like the first time people heard of Whitney. But with her collaborating with Jermaine Jackson, and we know with Clive Davis under her belt and shit, yeah, it was like basically a push forward to the right direction. Then she came out with the self-titled album, which is another story for a different day. So the album cover. Okay.
Tell me this stuff right here, yo.
You said what?
Michael's closet. You rated Michael's closet.
I was just about to say
Rating
that.
Michael's closet, yeah.
On his brother's closet.
This is Michael all day.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love my brother Michael.
Yo, you want to know what's crazy, Reg?
What?
This outfit he actually wore in the video for Sweetest.
Yep. I was just about to say that too.
For the actual wardrobe.
Wow.
Well, Jermaine's a fucking character, man. Shit.
Mm.
Shit, Jermaine. I don't know about it. I don't know, but now aside from Whitney Houston, he also had appearances from Michael, Tito, and Randy.
Great.
Right. And this album was released in two versions because in other versions of this album, they have this other song called "When the Rain Begins to Fall" with this singer named Pia Zadora. I don't know if I'm saying the name right.
Yeah, she's an actress also. She used to be an actress.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. That's on the re-release, I think, because it has like some remixes on there.
Yeah.
Mm.
OG copy has like the regular like 9 songs or whatever.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and if this is also his most successful album. One of his most successful albums, cause this is pretty much all the songs that was supposed to have been on the Victory album. He made into his own album and shit. So, imagine Whitney on the
slick.
Victory. Yeah, imagine Whitney on the Victory.
If they had on the Victory album, that would have been a classic album.
I don't know about that, but
Mm.
imagine Whitney on the Victory album. That's crazy, but
Oh my God.
okay. Dynamite. Let's start with Dynamite. I cannot stand this song with a passion. See, and the video too. It's like he was ripping off Thriller. Michael had gangbangers. This nigga had inmates and shit.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was he wearing in the video? Like some red ass leotard. Ah, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like the Dynamite. Every time, like I just think of the Arista era of Jermaine. I just think of whatever.
Yeah.
I just think of this song was the first thing that comes to my mind and shit. Oh. But yeah, I never liked this song with a passion. Damn, I never really cared for this shit right here. It's just, oh God. Oh wait, pause. Just to let everybody know, I'm just now looking at this shit now. My track listing on this one is pretty different, but I think they have like, I don't know, the track listing is kind of weird on my back cover. Cause
that's true.
You see it too, Troy, right?
On the vinyl, it starts with "Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The YouTube one is different because the YouTube one it starts off with Dynamite.
Yeah, Spotify has it started off with Dynamite as well.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna review like the OG version. Because on the vinyl it says Dynamite starts first, but I just realized that even Victory had the track listing messed up too. I'm just like, what the fuck?
What was the first on Victory on your cover? State of Shock was the first one for me.
Same. State of Shock was the first one too, but
wow.
What the fuck was the point of that? Like, really, what the fuck was the point of that shit?
That's weird.
That's odd.
Yeah, cause I just looked at the track listing of this Jermaine album. I'm just now realizing this shit, but that's all I have to say about Dynamite, pretty much. Cause I don't want to spend too much time on this album.
Yeah, you know why it reminded you of Thriller? Because he used Michael Jackson's director, Bob Giraldi, I think his name was.
Oh, I rest my case.
Yeah, so he borrowed Bob Giraldi to do that video in the prison with the female inmates, and they all wearing like cheesy 80s stuff. And I don't care for the video as well, but I love the song though. I think the song is dope. I like that the bass line, and you know the beat was dope. The synthesizers on it and the chorus all night. Love that shit. Love that chorus, and I'm surprised. I don't remember of anybody sampling that song for anything. You know what I'm saying? Not to my attention right now, but that chorus all night you supply what I like. Love that shit, man. That and the bass line, real funky track. I don't like again, I don't like the video. There was a lot of bad videos during the 80s that didn't go well with the with certain songs, but I don't care for the video, but I definitely like the song. I think it was dope. And he did his thing like even in the video like Jermaine like he had like some dance steps like he was doing his thing. I was like yo you could look at it and be yo like is that Michael like Michael taught him these dance steps you know and I don't think he could do those dance steps now but back then he was real athletic, he was in shape and he could move you know but I think it was a dope one.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, Dynamite. It was a good song to me, even though I never watched the video. But overall, I felt like the chorus was catchy. I like that, very upbeat. I didn't. I had no idea that the track listing for this album was different than like the vinyl and whatnot. I had no idea. So you said you had the OG copy of this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
How many tracks on here?
9.
it's not.
Yeah.
But the re-release the re-release is 15 because they added like some remixes and the song with Piers Adora.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but when I was listening to this album on Spotify today, it has the re-released, but I guess they call it the expanded version of this album. But it had originally I think it had like 10 tracks, but it also had those bonus tracks that are remixed as well.
Right.
That's why I was like
Yeah.
confused about like how many were on this album that we were going to talk about. So was it the 9 that we're going to talk about?
Yeah, the 9.
That's the old the extra song with Piers Adora. I think that's the international release. And then like they got another release with the remixes. So that makes it comes out to like 15 tracks or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so Dynamite. Shit, somewhere Jimmy Walker's wondering where's my check, but um next is sweetest. Another okay song. I didn't really care too much for this. But is he picking up these names like sweetest, Dynamite, Escape from the Planet of the Apes? Oh no, I'm gonna say my thoughts on that. Yeah, I didn't care for this sweetest, Sweet Daddy Williams, whatever you call this. I didn't care for this shit. And yeah, again, another cheesy video. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Oh, I didn't even say the producers for this album. Jermaine Jackson, Michael O'Mariaton, Richard Rudolph, Minnie Riperton's husband, if I'm not mistaken, and Clive Davis.
I actually like the song. Again, I don't like the video. Like the video, he's actually wearing what he's wearing on the album cover, and he's like a waiter or something, and he's like trying to get ass from this chick or whatever. And I didn't care for the video, but I like the song. I like the rock guitar on it and the beat. It's like a real playful, flirtatious song. I love the lyrics he sings. I can't believe all the things I heard about you, girl. Is it true? She answered me yes, every single word, and that's ain't all I do. He got a little nasty on this song,
Oh yeah.
And like I said, like it was like a real flirtatious song. Like even in the video, like he's trying to get with the light skinned chick, But I didn't care for the video, but I thought the song was dope. I think it was like a cool song.
Okay, respect.
Sweetest. When I was hearing this song a lot today, I really did not care too much. I'm like, what kind of cheesy crap are my ears listening to right now? That's how I felt about hearing this song. I'm like, oh my god, what was he thinking with this? it's like you wonder sometimes, like, did he pick the titles for these songs, or did any of the producers do that, or what? Like,
Yeah, I guess he did though. I guess it was him
mm,
only. Um,
mm, did
no,
not like.
you say you didn't like it.
No.
Crazy thing, I also made another slight mistake. This album actually came out first, then Victory. So,
Oh.
oh wow. Anyway, next track we got "Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming," we're featuring Michael Jackson. My favorite track off this album. And you know what? I'm gonna be a little biased. Michael made this song. I'm gonna be a little biased and shit. That's that beat alone. The way they will.
Yeah.
You said what?
I said, of course he made it. I mean, it's Michael.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like see something about 82, 80, 84 Michael on them vocals and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
just that my light. That emphasis, you know how y'all does some fucking emphasis on like the last letter of the word, like come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that's the Michael I fucking like, man. Like Michael just didn't give no fucks and shit. And believe it or not, this song was supposed to have been a single, but you know, with the label politics, you know, it just only got them like certain radio airplay, and it actually got them a Grammy nod for best R&B performance in '85 and shit. So, which I never knew it was nominated for a Grammy, but at the same time, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Very dope song. The Victory Tour version of this song, I love it better in my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah, man. A great collab with Michael and his brother Jermaine. Loved the beat and like you said, like this is a Michael song. Like without if we kick Jermaine off with a song, this is all Michael. I love his lyrics where he sings on your voice whispers in the dark. You talking to my heart. Are you with me? Am I here with you? Are we in paradise? And I love the chorus. Tell me I'm not dreaming. Love that. I believe somebody, I want to say Mace sampled it. I know there was a rap artist that sampled this song, but it's not coming to my head right now. But definitely a classic song. And Michael, that's what Michael did. Michael made hits for his relatives. He made, Centipede for VB Jackson, did
yes,
this song for Jermaine, and that's what he did. He helped out on the Victory album as best as he could, even though he didn't want to be a part of that album. And that's the legend. That you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what he did, and this is no different. Definitely, I wish they did do a video for this because this definitely would have helped this album for Jermaine on Jermaine's behalf. But I love this song. Definitely a classic on track.
highly agree.
Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming is such a good song, and I'm glad that Michael did collaborate with Jermaine on here, because I mean I couldn't imagine Jermaine doing it with any of his other brothers. No offense, but yeah, I have to agree with what both of y'all were saying. Like, Michael made this song right here. Yeah, yeah, this is definitely another favorite of mine off this album.
Yes, yes. Tell me I'm not. Just that chorus alone is catchy and shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it
jeez.
really is.
Definitely.
And now we take a trip to the surreal. Escape from the Planet of the Ant-Man featuring Tito and Randy. Why? What in God's name gave this boy? See, this is what happens when you give motherfuckers too much creative control sometimes. Cause you,
Oh my god.
and niggas got mad at Stevie Wonder for the Secret Lives of Plants. What the fuck is this? Look. They came from outer space. I was kidnapped. outside my cage. There's an army of ants. Bought me a mate today. Love at first. Is this ant life or Bug's life? Like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Like, I was really gonna give this album a benefit of a doubt. Like, I can take Dynamite once in a while. Sweetest is decent. Tell me I'm not dreaming. Very dope. But you are not. And I repeat, you are not gonna make me sit here and be serious about some song about no Planet of the Ant-Man and shit. Oh my fucking god. Trash. Oh fucking. And we only have 5 more songs left.
This is the one song on the album I don't like. It makes no sense. I don't know what the hell Jermaine was smoking when he did this song. He was talking about an army of ants outside his window and shit. Like, what the hell am I listening to? Like again, like the '80s was weird, and I think it reflected on the music and the fashion and the movies and stuff. And maybe Jermaine was watching, They Live or something one night, and he decided like, yo, let me make a song about ants because I just watched a horror movie about ants or something. Nah, I didn't like this song. This was terrible.
Trash.
Okay. My thoughts on this. This song was straight dumpster juice. Oh my god! like with the title alone, as I was reading, I was like, "What mess am I hearing right now?" And the lyrics didn't make any sense. I'm like, "What in the world you talking about? You escaping from? Like, you escaping from what, an anthill or something?" And it had me question like, was Jermaine on LSD or something?
I think he was.
Like, yeah, like his mind had to been messed up or something. Because I'm like, out of all things, you would really do a song about some trippy, you know what? Like, come on.
Huh. Like I said, he was probably on his Secret Lives of Plants vibe and shit. but the difference between with that and what Stevie did, at least it's fit with like a documentary. This was just, I don't know, man.
It was just too random, too weird, too bizarre.
Shit. Oh my fucking god. Oh. Come to me one way or another. Bro, what is up with these fucking titles, man? Like,
I'm wondering the same thing.
I mean, this song again is a decent track. Like, one thing I'll give Jermaine, his soft voice over the right production when it comes to choruses, it can make a bad song into a decent song. Like, girl, you go, come to me, sugar. Like, you know how that soft voice Jermaine always be doing this shit. You know all of them have soft voices. Let me stop. But yeah, this was a pretty decent song and shit.
I think it had like a world music type of vibe to it.
Fact.
Like something like similar to like what Paul Simon did with Graceland.
Yes.
I like that. We gotta talk about that album at some point. Graceland, that was a dope album.
I never heard that album.
Nice.
But I didn't hear it in full. To be really real with you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I got you.
Definitely has a nice bass line, nice beat. I like the chorus. Come to me, one way or another. I like that joint. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. I thought it was a decent track. It's different from the songs ahead of it. Like it didn't sound like the other song, like Dynamite or that last song. But I definitely thought it was decent.
I agree with you on that. I agree.
I did not care too much for this song. Come to me one way or another. It had me thinking like what's gonna happen if the female doesn't come to him? Like what? He gonna up and kill her or something? I'm just saying, just from the title alone, that's what it had me thinking all day. And I'm like,
come to me.
What? Like it's kind of like he's like practically begging her to like come to him or something. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I did not like this song.
shit. So it basically sounds rapey to you. Is that what she's saying?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Mm.
Now we have the most annoying song off this album. Do what you do, let you say what you did to me.
Oh God, no.
Why don't you do what you do, what you say, what you did? I know a lot of people say this is like a Quiet Storm classic, but this is another
Yeah.
one of those songs. I'm just like, why did you record this track? Like, this is what you wanted on Motown. And out of all the years I've heard that song, I thought it was on the Don't Take It Personal album, but nah, it was actually on this one and shit. And with this song, he's talking about how he wants his lover to continue the enjoyable events they had in the past. So he wants to live in the past and not grow up and shit. And that's basically what I got from this song. You know what I'm saying? Now I see why Hazel left your ass, but um,
Wow.
all of my Lil Wayne fans should know about this track. Chameleonaire fans, y'all should know about this track too. It's a decent track.
Uh, I actually like this song. I think it's a nice ballad. Um, yeah, I like the chorus and the lyrics he sings are "I was crazy for you, you was crazy for me. How could something so right go so wrong?" The video told a story. It had Iman in it. You know, the
Yes.
supermodel, the late David Bowie, rest in peace to him.
All
And
right.
she played like I guess she played Iman played his lover in the video, and it starts off with like I guess he was like a part of the mob or the mafia, and like she did him dirty, and they took her away. And then during the video you see like she tried like they made love, but she tried to kill him when he was in the shower. And I thought the video was decent. Like it actually went along with the song. It wasn't nothing weird, like we got on the Victory album. But I definitely feel like it's one of my favorites on the album. I thought he sang it beautifully. Definitely a Quiet Storm type of track. I don't know if I would call it a Quiet Storm classic though, but I definitely feel like it's one of the best songs on the album.
True. True.
Yeah, when I was first hearing this song, I was like, I had some mixed feelings with it, but after hearing it again and again, it's an okay song. I give it that.
Yeah, man. It's just the chorus with that one just got on my nerves. And
You like
Yeah,
so you say
it kind of did.
do what you do.
love that. That's what makes the song like there's certain choruses even like if like fast paced songs or ballads there's certain choruses you hear and it just immediately gets to like it's real catchy. I thought like the chorus is what makes the song.
Yeah, like public announcements. Yippee yo, yippee
Right. Remember that shit? Yeah, that shit.
Let me stop. All right, so track number 7, "Take Good Care of My Heart," featuring Whitney Houston. Um, yeah, this song was decent, pretty decent and shit. Him and Whitney doing a song together. Rest in peace to Whitney Houston, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Legend, of course. Yeah, not really that much to say about this song. It was a decent song and shit. Oh, actually, there's so originally, the songwriters they actually wrote this tune only for Jermaine Jackson, but the label wanted him to do a song with Whitney, and so he was going through his stash and he found this song, and basically they recorded the song. And so originally, it was supposed to have been like a Jermaine solo track. So I thought that was interesting.
I think that's probably Clive Davis doing, like
Of
throwing Whitney
course.
on the track. I thought it was good. I think like to hear Whitney was in her bag at that time. She sung it beautifully. I think it was a nice collab between her and Jermaine, and a real groovy mid tempo track. I like the lyrics where he sings, "Time can pass so slowly when you feel so all alone. Low can love can strike like lightning when you find your heart a home." It has a nice saxophone solo as well on the song. I thought it was a nice collab. Whitney's a legend. Rest in peace to her. And I definitely think she killed it. I think he killed it. They should have came out with a video for that. I think that would have been a dope single as well.
Mm, most definitely.
Take Good Care of My Heart was another song off this album that I love right here. I felt that Whitney and Jermaine did a wonderful job performing it together. And I wish they would have came out with a video for this. It would have been dope. And was this song ever featured on a Whitney album or no?
I Let me double check the first
I don't
album.
think it's not on the first album. I have a first album on vinyl. I don't think it's on that one. I don't think it ever came up like on any of her album.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um,
Oh wow. I always thought it
yeah,
was.
'cause the only album I've heard this song from was her greatest hits album.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Oh, the greatest hits. Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course, it would be, of course, but
Yeah.
Yeah. They added that. They probably added that like as a bonus. Like let's put that on
right. Shit. Anyway, then we get to the next track, which is hold up. Some things are private. Hmm. I only like the intro to this track. That was the only best thing about this whole song. To be real with you, yeah, this song was straight up doo doo. I feel like the title is misleading because we don't know anything private about the Jacksons. To be real with you, but yeah, never really cared for this track right here.
That's true. Like they were always in the public eye, so it was like
Mhm.
it's really private about them at this point. But I,
Yeah.
I like the message in the song because like Jermaine, like he's singing about like keeping his privacy and his personal life to his own self and mind your business. And I like the lyrics he sings, but just remember when they're asking questions, you got to be discreet. Keep in mind, I've never been the kind who lives his business on the street. And like Michael when he did that song "Leave Me Alone" off of the Bad album, and
Mhm.
pushing back at the media because they were always like hiding out in his bushes and following him around, and he felt like he couldn't be himself. And I understand what they, as a celebrity, that is hard, and I can imagine how it is for them on a daily basis. Like they can't go to the grocery store by themselves, or go out to go shopping at the mall or something. So I definitely understand the message and what Jermaine is conveying on the song. I thought it was a dope song. I thought it was cool. It has a nice saxophone on it, nice beat, and the bass line. I thought it was a cool song.
Okay.
Yeah, some things are private. I mean, I get what the message is saying, but overall, the song just sounded like complete trash to me. Yeah.
Shit. The last song, "Oh Mother." So this was a tribute to Catherine. It's a respectable tribute. There was some questionable lines like, "Have I told you you are my river that never stops for rest? Have I thanked you for letting me come out of you and give me all of your best?"
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Now I see why you would say that some questionable stuff
Mm.
like, what, thanking
Like
her
that.
that she gave birth to you. Is
So
that what you're going
what?
with?
You
Is
can't you
that where
can't
you're
think like
going with that?
that. I don't. I mean, within the topic of the song, I can't really think like that. I mean, it's a song for his mother. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah,
know.
I understand that though, but yeah, like just from what Reg was just reading right now, I never paid attention to it till just now. I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah, it's just like certain lines in this song was just kind of cringy, but I respect the fact it's a
Yeah.
tribute to his mom and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
oh, Jermaine, that's all I have to say. Jermaine.
Um, I think it was a dope song, man. I think it was a beautiful song to his mom, and it was real heartfelt. And Jermaine has a beautiful voice. He always did. It's a shame he didn't become like as big as Janet or Michael. But I always thought he had a dope voice, and I think it was a good song, a nice way to end the album off. I didn't see nothing wrong with the song. Like it's a tribute to his mom, and I thought it was dope.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a good way to end off the album, and of course the song is him paying tribute to his mom, Catherine, of course. Yeah, it was a good song here, even though with like the questionable lyrics that you mentioned earlier, Reg. I mean, other than that, I have no problems with this one.
Alrighty. Okay. I do not like this album. Mm, I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it was, but it's still a pretty. Yeah, I'm a Jackson, so I have to make an album, kind of album and shit. It has some decent tracks. Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming. Um, Come to Me, Oh Mother. I'll even take Do What You Do on a good day, but other than that, I just felt like it was just cheesy. The songwriting was good for the most part, but the way it was executed just kind of sounded half-assed in my opinion. I'll give this a 2.5 out of 5. Oops.
I actually like this album. I think and I haven't listened to Jermaine's other releases, so maybe I'm being biased, but I actually thought this album was dope. Do What You Do and Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming, Dynamite, Sweetest Sweetest. I actually like this album. I think it was solid. I would give it a solid 4.5. I don't like Escape from the Planet of Ant-Man. I thought that was whack.
Mm.
That could have been left off of that. I think the album, like if the album was promoted more, in the '80s it was all about Michael, and then Janet came along, so it was like that's the only two people focused on regarding the family. So it was like if anybody else came out with something, they just overlooked them. And I think that's what Jermaine suffered from. He suffered from being overlooked for Janet and Michael. But I definitely feel like this album was solid, and if it was promoted more, it definitely would have been like his one of his best albums or his best album. But I actually like it. I think it's a solid album.
So you will put this over Let's Get Serious too?
What I said? What the whole album or the song?
The whole album.
See, I gotta hear that 'cause I haven't heard that album. I don't have that one. It's the only, but I gotta hear that one, and then I'll tell you if it's better. But I mean, for this album, I think the album was dope. It's just that like he was overlooked because of like he couldn't compete with Janet and Michael,
Hell
and I think that's why like he didn't live up to becoming like a big solo artist because he had that competition. And even now, like if he came out, who's really gonna pay attention to him? You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like he wasn't like, and he was on a big label. Like Alistair Records is big. They had big stars off of that label, but it's just that I just feel like he was overlooked because of Michael and Janet. And I feel like this album was really good. It's just that it probably wasn't promoted enough, and it's a shame, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna definitely go back and hear Let's Get Serious now because I always like even like when I remember like looking at Michael's funeral, and when Jermaine performed, like Jermaine still got a voice. He could still sing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Like if Janet said, "Oh well, I'm retiring forever," Jermaine could make a comeback, but it's that who's really gonna pay attention to him at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I think the album was dope.
Facts. Cause Jermaine actually dropped an album in 2012 too, just to let you know.
Didn't even know that.
I don't think no one did.
Did not know
I'm being honest though.
that. Right. Yep.
Why am I just thinking about? Never mind, I'm not.
Mm.
I just thought about the Temptations for a weird moment, but. mm,
Okay. This is the first Jermaine Jackson album I've heard today. And honestly there were some stuff that I liked, other stuff I didn't too care too much for, like that escape from the planet of the Ant-Man or whatever that was. Oh my god, that was so awful. I mean,
yeah.
there were a few stuff that I did like. I liked Dynamite, Take Good Care of My Heart, and what was it? Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming with Michael on there. Like those were in Oh Mother. Those are some stuff that I did like. The other stuff I really did not care too much for, and I felt like maybe this album would have could have been better if it weren't for like some of the questionable song titles of some of the songs, or I don't know, either was like how I guess how production wise what this album was done, or I don't know if it was like promoted right or whatever. It just could have been a lot of factors that would have came into play for this, but
Right.
honestly I had to get this album 2 out of 5.
Respect.
Mhm.
Alright, man. That take care of that. Very good work.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget. 39 years. This album came out.
Yes. 39
Let's
years.
not
Oh
forget.
yeah, Thriller. Yeah.
We can't do a Jackson episode without mentioning the King of Pop, the real King. Let's not forget. This man is a legend. Like white people, any white people who look at this, I know y'all are infatuated with Elvis. Y'all love Elvis Presley. That's cool. But this is the real King. This is the real King right here.
Real
Let's
king.
not forget.
Mr. Thriller himself, MJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit.
The best album. The best album ever. This is the best album ever of any genre. As much as I love Illmatic and Ready to Die, Enter the Wu Tang, this is the best album ever. Out of any other album that ever dropped, this is the best album ever.
I mean, you
A
can't argue.
legend.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
Nope.
Shit. Definitely a dope video we did today, y'all. Definitely a dope video.
Sure.
Shit. I have to actually call my mom before she goes to sleep and stuff like that. But I am. We still gonna do the Tina Turner Private Dancer. I'm gonna talk to y'all about that
Yes.
sometime. Since her 80th birthday just passed and shit like that, I thought I'd do like a little. Since that's the only album I have from her too, so I was like, you know what? Let me talk about Private Dancer and shit.
Mm.
Yeah, man, definitely a dope video. I'm about to call my mom before she goes to bed. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all cop The Victory and Dynamite. Both albums, I believe, are still in print. So, as usual, this is your boy Reg here. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace. Have a good night.
Peace.